Hi guys, welcome back to another reaction video here on Our Eyes Your Eyes. I'm ready to watch episode 2 of season 2 of Made in Abyss, but before starting this video I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell, leave a like to support me and keep going on following me in this dramatic adventure. Okay, in the previous episode we saw this sort of flashback regarding Ueko, and at the same time now Nanachi, Riko and Reg arrived over there in the 6th layer. So let's see what's going to happen now. Are you ready to join me with these? Check it out. Oh no. Yeah. Exactly. But it's hot, so it's like what I told you. Oh. Thank you, Reg. Maybe they are living underground because it's too hot. Maybe. Okay, Rico is always enthusiastic about. Yeah. Thank you, Nanachi. So even Liza didn't write anything about this place. 3+1. No, don't be so sure about that. I think the contrary, actually. Ah. Wow. What? But see, it seems like a creature that is made of a fire, or it has those colors typical of fire. Oh, he couldn't catch them. That's right. Oh. Don't go too close, Rico. What happened now? See? That's fire, right? That's fire! Or there's something related to... Hey, yes, see? Was that done by that creature or by something else? Oh my, you see? It's not a golden city, it's gold for something else. Oh, what the F. Here we go, but who caused that thing? I mean, is that the creature we saw before or something else? This is like lava. I mean, it's like as if there is a volcano or something like that. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, there's nothing to enjoy. Oh no. She stole them? No, I think that the mother is coming to get them back. Maybe. Oh, okay. No, I thought something else. That's strange. Oh. Yeah, it's like when sometimes they fry or they boil seafood. Yeah. No reg. I mean, oh. Ugh. So it's still alive. It's not a reflex. Oh no. Wow, she's making like a. I mean. I mean, they like ebi fry or something. Nanachi, I can feel you. Oishi. No, Atsui, but it's delicious, right? She likes it. Oh. What? Nato, we miss you. Yes, he's one of the boys. Yeah. Shigi, yeah. Yeah, they're fine, I guess. Let's hope so. I still believe that they can return. I think at this time it would be definitely difficult to reach them again. No, they are sending it once again, but from the sixth layer, it's not the same thing. Oh, wow. Exactly. No, they got that. Okay, they got that. But what about this one? Let's go. Be sure to reach the surface. Yeah, we can tell you that it reached it last time, so it didn't reach it at all. Oh my, I told you this time is even more difficult than before. Yeah, let's retry. Oh my, who's that? Don't tell me that that's Weko. Because it's transformed already. I mean, okay, somebody else is watching them like at that time with the Nanachi. that he or she was watching them. Oh no, who's that? I mean, I think that's Weko. Oh, Weko was able to give them back these. Wow. No, what the F? That's Rico. What's going? No! That's Rico. And Nanachi has a mark, but Reg doesn't have anything. No, that's the thing that we saw before that is looking at them. But what does that mean? Why Reg is not marked? Iron. Maybe they are using that crystal we saw. Oh no, F away. No, Prushka is gone, look. Because she turned into the white whistle, so they thought maybe that by getting the white whistle, they felt more powerful. Because once you get the white whistle, you can command the area, let's say. Let's find her back, look. But he can sense things still. So Reg is so important. But they are worms. Why? Oh no, no. Oh no, this is air. That's hair. Oh yeah. Oh no. What? Oh no, they are trying to make some... I mean, they seem like voodoo dolls. Why they did... Who did something like that? Yeah, but you should ask yourself what's going on, because that's too creepy. Why did they wanted to do something like that? And in fact, even the marks were like voodoo dolls when they are trying to defeat them. But Reg was not marked. I think we will spend lots of time in this area. Look. Oh my. I am always afraid that something bad is about to happen. Especially when they make those scenes in which you see that they start. Where are we? Oh no. What is that tower? Yeah. Yes, there's the same mark. Yeah. Uh-huh. Maybe they had to find that area. I mean, it's regarding Rico, because maybe Rico needs to reach some sort of info. Yeah. Oof. I'm not ready. Let's see what they are going to discover now, because definitely somebody wants them to reach there. Who's this? Huh? Susosa. Or maybe that's that girl that was supposed to be the guide of the group, of the flashback. That's fast. Oh no. Maybe it's another kind of a force field? What's that? But if he can pass, it means that... No! No. No. Manian could enter really easily. Okay, all of them. Oh my. They are all dead and somebody cut them into pieces. But we don't understand why. Were they cannibals? I mean, they were eating each other, or something else was eating them? Oh no. These are all the people. I mean, in the past they were people, right? But now they are transformed. Oh no. Oh! Oh no, okay, I thought something else. Who's that? What's that? Am I? Yeah. Majikaja. What? Oh, look up. Hey, in fact, I was about to say that. No. Okay, guys, another incredible episode. This time I wanted to take my time and analyze everything as best as possible. In the case I will forget something, as you noticed, even for the first episode, I'm going to adjust my thoughts by putting some panels in which I'm writing the other things that I forgot to tell you. But first of all, we saw that Riko, Reg, and the Nanachi are just trying to explore this area. And of course, the area of these six layer, it's called the capital of the unreturned. And this is already a great thing to analyze because, as we all know from the previous episode, these people from the flashback, I call them like this, let's say Weko and all the others, once they arrived in this area, they couldn't come back. That's what we understood from these. And they couldn't come back because they were so enthusiastic to reach this golden city that I am pretty sure that once they reached it, they found something abominous, something crazy, and that's why they couldn't come back. Or, as much as I was telling you in the previous commentary, what we saw at the end of the previous episode is that these people, once they reached this golden city, they have found this pinkish creature, pinkish thing. And what if they thought, okay, we found something incredibly powerful, or we found the source of everything, because we need to remember that these people who went down the abyss, they were believing in a god, and they were sent there because they had to find this golden city, and there was nothing else for them to do. So I think that they were deeply attached to this sixth layer, not just because they had to explore, but because they had a goal to reach. So in this case, we understand that all of the people that we saw in the previous episode coming from the Weko's group, they couldn't return. And that's why it's also called the capital of the unreturned. This doesn't regard, I guess, all these Weko's group. I think that it regards even other people who tried to explore the abyss and they couldn't come back. One of these people is also Liza, because we know that Liza seems to wait Riko deep down the abyss. So we needed to know if that's Liza, as much as I was telling you in season 1, or if it's somebody else by pretending being Liza. This is something else we needed to discover later. But the most important thing is that this capital of the unreturned seems to be surrounded by fire. As much as I was expecting to find in the previous episode, I was trying to connect this golden city with the colors of gold with the fire, because we saw even in the previous episode while they were descending this area that it seemed as if they were descending in a sort of a lava country. I mean, as if deep down this abyss there is a sort of a volcano, or there are some high temperatures that maybe they were connected even with the experience Weko had. And in fact, we know that Weko was burned since this flashback started. So we know how hard Weko's life was and how she or he, I mean, I think Weko is a girl, but anyway, how Weko wanted to find a new purpose of her life by becoming the guide of this group. And let's say that even if she was forced to do something like this, then Weko decided to join this group, and maybe she wanted to try to find a new purpose for her life after all the bad things that happened. But as you could see, we notice this relation between the fire and the description of the area we are in, because even in this episode you see that somehow there are some fire explosions, and we don't understand if these fire explosions are coming from the creature we saw at the beginning of the episode, that it seems like a dragon to me. I mean, it's something anyway related to fire, because as you could see, even the way in which it's represented, it seems as if it's coming from fire. But we don't understand if it's coming from there, or these explosions are already part of this area, because we see that these explosions are circular and we don't know, where are they coming from. This is really important, I guess, because what if Weko was starting the life she had over there before even reaching the abyss in that way? That means by being burnt, by being tortured and whatsoever, and automatically it's like a mirror that she was ending her life, or she was changing her life for something drastical. In the same way, I mean, fire versus fire. It's like in Dante's Divine Comedy, when there is the contrappasso. I'm going to write here down below the translation. And even Dante was making this contrappasso, but in another way, because the contrappasso was the difference between life and death, and the souls who were going to hell, they were experiencing the exact opposite of what their sins were. I mean, for example, if in life you were stealing, in this contrappasso in hell, your soul was stolen. I mean, it's like as if it's a sort of karma. Everything you did in life, then it's returning to you depending on what you did in your previous life. And it's happening in hell. I think that even this layer reminds me of hell somehow, because we see that they couldn't come back. We see that there are some fire explosions, and we see later in the episode something really bad happening, and that's why I'm saying, what if there is this way to describe this fire area that is condemning all these souls, all these people who really wanted to go deep down the abyss to explore it, but then, except for the force field, we know that there are some other things that don't help people to go back on surface. So I think that it's like a sort of curse. Yeah, even in the previous episode they were mentioning this. I mean, there was this girl that was used as a guide, that she was saying, she was talking about this curse, and she was belonging to these natives, as if she already knew as much as all the other natives, that deep down, once you reach the bottom, you can't go back as before. And were they talking about this because of the force field, or because even the natives already knew that there was something else that couldn't help them return? And that's another important thing to wait in order to be analyzed. But definitely this area is creepy, because you can also perceive the stillness, the way in which silence is a huge protagonist, and usually when there's this sort of silence, it makes you understand that something bad will happen, that this stillness is going to be revoked once they will go deep down inside this area, or once they go deep inside by analyzing this area. And that's why I was afraid during the episode that something might happen, because I know that when there's a stillness, later on you know that something bad is about to happen. And it happened even in season 1, when there was that episode in which Riko was attacked by that creature, you know that, and it was the first time that they could meet Nanachi. Yeah, in this episode I found some similarities with what happened with Nanachi and what's happening now, because even in this episode you could see that somebody else is watching them, as much as Nanachi at that time was watching them, because it was, let's say, something strange, something unusual to see people over there, even during the Nanachi's adventure. So we know that Nanachi was reluctant to try to get in touch with them, because she didn't know what their reaction would have been, so she preferred to analyze them from a distance. And that's what's happening even here, because this thing that is watching them, we know that it's pretty fast, and at the same time it's keeping looking at them. as if he or she wants to analyze them from a distance, because even in this case, this thing is suspecting them a lot. Another thing in common was the stillness, because before Rico was attacked in season 1, we know that Reg was trying its best to go slowly, not to make a noise, because they were afraid of this quiet place. And in this case, it's happening almost the same thing. But talking about this thing that is looking at them, I want to know who that thing is, because I have a couple of ideas. One idea might be Weko. If Weko is still there, it's transformed because of everything that is happening in this layer, and also because if Weko tried to climb and to go back to the surface, we know that the more you are going up, the more you are transformed because of this force field, and because you can't maintain the same form as you had before. So if that's Weko, we needed to understand why is Weko looking at them. Is it because it's a sort of a request of help? Because finally Weko found people coming over there, so it's a sort of a hope? Or is Weko rebelling to this, and that's why he's looking from a distance, because he's not trusting them, and he or she, sorry, let's say Weko, doesn't understand if she or he can trust them quite a lot. That's what happened with Nanachi too. I mean, at the beginning, Nanachi was not trusting them at all, but sooner after, we know that she could find quite confident with them, and that's why she joined the group. But Weko maybe has a sad story that has to be listened, because yeah, as I was telling you in the previous commentary, I already think that nobody listened to Weko properly. Nobody listened to his or her story so far. That's what happened to Nanachi too. I mean, Nanachi was able to confront Rico and Reg properly because they really wanted to listen to Nanachi's story. And that's why I'm saying, even with Weko, maybe that's the same thing that is happening. That's why maybe she is still reluctant to get in touch with them, but maybe later something else will happen, and maybe even Weko will have the ability to say its story and to be listened properly, because I think Weko's story will be even more painful compared to all the other stories we heard so far. So let's stay tuned and keep on watching. But yeah, is that Weko? Or I have another idea. That is, what if that creature that is looking at them is the girl we saw that was joining the group, and she was part of the natives too, and we know that she was forced to join the Abyss because other people chose for her to go deep down over there, also because she couldn't have kids. So it was like as if she was useless, and by being considered useless, it was better to get rid of her. So what if that thing that is looking at them is this girl that is transformed, of course, because of all that happened, and we know that that girl coming from the natives knew many things, and she was also talking about the curse, and she wanted to guide them, but yeah, later something went wrong, probably, and that's why she's the only survivor here. I really hope not. I really hope that Rico, Reg, and Nanachi are able to meet the Weko too. So let's see, maybe this creature that is embodying this girl that was supposed to be the guide also knows where Weko is, and she's just trying to detect what's happening in the layer, but Weko is in another place and they joined forces somehow. Let's see, because it's like even in this case Nanachi with the Mitty, and we know that Mitty was rescued by Nanachi, and Nanachi was always trying his or her best to try to recover her, trying to find a way to bring her back as before, but Nanachi couldn't. So let's say that maybe it could be the same thing. Maybe even this girl who was supposed to be the guide joined forces with Ueko, and we know that they were staying together as much as Nanachi and Mitty were staying together before descending the abyss. So what if these two are staying together already and they are just trying to find the people who are going to investigate the abyss because they need to spread lots of things that they found, they discovered, and whatsoever. Let's see. These are my two ideas. Or it's Ueko, or it's the girl that joined the group of Ueko by descending the abyss. Let's see. Or maybe it's Belaf. But I don't think so. Yeah, it might be, because if Belaf survived, we know that Belaf was really intelligent, and he had lots of knowledge about even the translations and so many other things. So let's say that Belaf was the philosopher of the group at this point. So if he's still there, yeah, it might be Belaf too, so I have three options in this case. But then we see that Riko, Reg, and Nanachi wanted to try to send the message to Natto and all the others, Shigi, yeah, and these orphanage. But look, I have a bad feeling, because if previously this was possible, we know that, I mean, the first message reached the surface, and Natto, Shigi, and all the others found this message, and they could detect that they are fine. But right now, I don't think that they can send a message, and in fact in this episode we saw that they couldn't. Not just because of creatures, that they are trying to create such obstacles in order for the message to reach the surface. But as for the capital of the unreturned, I don't think that they can send these messages. Also because we know that before reaching this area they had to complete the last dive, and that's why I'm saying that for this message to be able to reach the surface, it would be pretty hard this time. Somebody got the picture of Reg, Nanachi, and Riko that were trying to convey to the surface. Was that same creature that we still don't know who that is, who tried to give this paper back to them with that sort of a message included, and then we are going to analyze this. I mean, was that creature to do so, or was there somebody else who did that on purpose? Look, at first when I saw this message that was overwritten on top of the three drawings that we saw of Riko, Nanachi, and Reg. These reminded me of the voodoo doll. I mean, these death threatening that are sent sometimes, in which you see like sort of threatening that somebody's going to die, thanks to symbols, thanks to or drawings over the previous one. Yeah, that I got that feeling of the voodoo doll or something like that. I mean, these sort of messages that are telling you that somebody wants them to die, or somebody is trying to attempt their lives. I mean, something negative, okay? By analyzing all these things that we saw on this drawing, we see that Riko is turned upside down. As if maybe somebody wants to kill her. Maybe it's a secret message that we still have to decode. Why Riko specifically? I mean, is this because everything goes back to Liza's theory? I mean, the fact that everyone is trying to let Riko reach the bottom of the abyss because Liza is waiting over there, and maybe even these thing that is watching them already met Liza, and Liza told this thing, oh, if you see my girl, if you see this picture, and maybe she showed them the picture of Riko, if you see Riko coming deep down the abyss, please tell her to go over there, guide her somehow, this can make a sense also because we know that that girl who was supposed to guide the Wekos group deep down the abyss maybe can be related to Liza too. Maybe she also met Liza too, or maybe these natives met Liza too. So now they know that Rico is coming deep down the abyss and they are just trying to guide her until she will be able to find her mom. This could be possible. And let me tell you another thing, guys. By rewatching the first episode before watching this second one, when the natives are approaching Weko's group for the first time, we see that some of these natives have these marks that are also the same marks that Reg has. While writing one of the panels in the commentary of the previous episode, I was telling you what if these natives are having a sort of connection with Reg too, because we know that Reg is coming from the bottom of the abyss. We know that Reg met Liza before, so what if even all the other natives too, or some of these natives, met Liza at the bottom of the abyss too? I mean, we needed to remember that the mission of Rico is to try to reach her mom, so does this mean that that upside down drawing on her is a way to conduct her to the bottom of the abyss because she's going deep down? Does this mean that somebody wants to attempt her life, somebody wants to kill her, or somebody wants to guide her somewhere? And in fact, we saw the same mark later once Rico, Reg, and Nanachi are going deep down and they are still going to explore the area, and somehow they are reaching a point in which they are finding the same drawing once again. So is this not just a death threatening, but maybe it's just a mark that these three have to follow in order to reach a specific area of the sixth layer? But why it's only for Rico this symbol and not for all the others? Yeah, as I told you, maybe it's because it refers to her mom, and of course we know that Rico wants to reach her. So let's see what's going to happen. Or maybe because Rico is important for other reasons we still don't know. I mean, everyone is focusing on Rico not just because she is the main protagonist, but maybe because, except for the fact that she wants to reach her mom, maybe there is another importance that Rico has that we still don't know, and that's why we needed to go ahead. Then if we check the drawing on top of Nanachi's drawing, we see that she's scratched, let's say. I mean, it's like a mark as if they wanted to scratch her, but we don't know why. I mean, maybe if these drawings are made by this creature that is following them, maybe this creature is finding some similarities with Nanachi too. I mean, maybe she knows something about Nanachi too that we don't know, or she's just relating to Nanachi, because if that's a Weko, or if that's the girl that she was supposed to be the guide of Weko and all the others, as I told you, there are some similarities between Nanachi and Mitty and these two. So what if she can relate to Nanachi? Maybe. Let's see what's going to happen. The only one who doesn't have any sort of a mark on top is Reg. And why? I mean, is this because Reg, by belonging to these natives or that were already deep inside the abyss, they don't need to mark him because he is already part of them? Why Reg is not including in these symbols on top? That's scary somehow, because what if later, as much as I was telling you during season 1, we know that Reg did something bad to Liza, or he was the one killing Liza, or we discover that Reg is an enemy at the end of the day, while throughout all this time he was just trying to protect Rico and Nanachi. I mean, we needed to understand more what's going on, but these marks on this drawing, they are important, I guess. Also because later, yes, as much as I was telling you before, we saw the symbol on top of Rico. And actually, the more they are following this symbol, the more they are reaching the place in which they are meeting Magikaja. and all the other creatures. So was that a way for them to help them reaching that place? Maybe. But I wanted to tell you another thing, because before going ahead and before reaching Magikaja, we know that there were these creatures found by Reg, Nanachi, and Riko. And once they opened these creatures, they found hair, and this hair is belonging to Riko, and it's mixed with the blood. And yeah, all these things, as I was telling you, they seem to me like voodoo doll rituals, or when they are doing these sort of sacrifices, I mean human sacrifices or animal sacrifices, that they are used in order to worship something evil. And that's why I feel scared, because why did they use blood with Riko's hair, and even with Nanachi's skin or hair too? Why they didn't use anything from Reg? That's another thing in which we understand that Reg is not touched here. It's not threatened, or it's not needed somehow, because every time they are trying to take some things from Riko and Nanachi, they are putting on these drawings marks on Riko and Nanachi, but not to Reg. So we needed to understand why, sincerely. But that was pretty disgusting, because we needed to understand who did that. Was that mark too? I mean, was that a mark on the trace they have to take, on the path they have to walk? I don't understand, sincerely, but that was creepy. I mean, was that a sign that the path they had to follow was that? And in fact, later they go ahead and they try to find this area in which they find this tower in which there is this symbol over there. That's creepy, let me tell you. And then we enter inside this cave in which there are these human bones, as if somebody ate them, or it's like as if those bones were used for sacrifices. We don't know, because we don't understand if we are talking about cannibalism or we are talking about human sacrifices because they worshipped something that was evil, or something that was tricking them. But it was simply disgusting, because Riko, while looking at those bones, she was saying, oh, what is that? What does that mean? Yeah, it's something creepy, it's something disgusting. But yeah, were they dying because somebody else was eating them? Were they dying because they were a result of a sacrifice? Were they dying because there is somebody else, even more evil, that is one of the white whistle handler, maybe? Or were they dying because of these fire explosions, that they were burnt alive, and that's the result? I mean, that's why there were some bones. But as you could see, these bones were hanging on the walls of these caves, and it means that somebody else was using those bones, and we don't know how, we don't know why, but we will understand it later for sure. Yeah, even these Magikaja, who's that? I mean, we know that this thing was transformed somehow. I don't think that that's just a robotic creature or something like that. I think that by asking, he wanted to understand if these three are just trying to explore the abyss, or if there's somebody else that they don't know. But as you could see, this Magikaja is having some robotic parts, as if yeah, this reminds me of Reg, sincerely, because you know that even Reg is not completely human. I mean, he was transformed thanks to these robotic arms, and We know that he has this incinerator that is super powerful, but even this Magikaja seems to be made as if it's robotic, but I don't think so. I think maybe that's one of these people who were turned into like this because of experiments, because of something else. And then we have another mystery to solve, because where is Prushka? Where did she go? I mean, we know that this white whistle was stolen because it can't be found anymore. Where did it go? Why do they need the white whistle? Who needs this white whistle? Because once again, I tell you this, once you get the white whistle, you have a sort of authority in the abyss. And by stealing it, maybe somebody wants this authority back, or somebody wants to gain this authority in order to go ahead with the mission, in order to rescue others, maybe. So Prushka is used by something or by somebody for this purpose. Why was it stolen? Was it stolen by that creature? We saw that it's watching them, and it's also putting these marks on that drawing. Why is it doing so? Is it a way to try to go deep inside the abyss more and more to reach the 7th layer, and they needed the white whistle? I mean, we don't know. But what if it's another white whistle that wants another white whistle? Because Riko, Reg, and Nanachi in this episode were talking about this white whistle that maybe they can meet. I mean, another white whistle handler that they can meet. And even if Riko is a super enthusiast, look, she needs to understand that the more they go down, the more the white whistle handlers are super evil, especially after Bondorudo. We know that the next one, because yeah, in season 1 they were showing us so many white whistle handlers, and yeah, I think after Bondorudo, everything will be more evil. So Riko shouldn't be so happy for this. I still don't get it. I mean, I still don't understand why she's so enthusiastic, because after all she experienced, she keeps smiling and she keeps being so, yeah, enthusiastic. I really don't understand why. I mean, I understand that Riko has this mission to find her mom and to go deep inside the abyss, and she's almost done. I mean, she's almost reaching the 7th layer, so I can understand that she feels happy for that. But at the same time, how can she be so confident? That's why I'm saying, is there something hidden still regarding Riko's character? I mean, we know that even Liza was enthusiastic and she had that attitude, but yeah, what if we go deep inside the abyss, guys, and we reach Liza, and Liza is becoming worse than Bondorudo? I mean, that's my fear. That's why I'm saying Riko shouldn't be so enthusiastic until she will reach her. Or can we be able to reach her or not? Did she transform too? I mean, is she still human? I don't think so. Or was she killed by somebody else? I don't know. But Riko shouldn't be so happy as she is. I agree with her will to explore, her will of creating an adventure, but at the same time, now more than ever, we understand that there's no turning back, or if there is, they will change it too. Because at the end of the episode, I think that was Reg's voice, and he was saying, we didn't know at that time that we couldn't go back, or that we couldn't go back as a human as before. So something has to happen. Maybe even Riko is going to change, is going to transform somehow. Or we discover some things regarding Reg. So many things, guys. But now this Magikaja is trying to take them somewhere, specifically. I don't know where do they have to go right now. I think that the more we go on, the more we will suffer. So let's stay tuned and keep on watching. Okay guys, let's see what's going to happen next week with episode 3 of season 2 of Made in Abyss. In the meantime, feel free to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell. Bye guys, see you in the next video.